So in Hellenic polytheism, we call the sun Helios, the moon Selene, and we view the moon, the sun, the earth Gaia as such, that we don't say that's Thor and all that stuff. But here's what's interesting. Did you know that in ancient times, the gods, there was discussed that the gods may have different names? We may say Zeus and Dionysus, but do they call themselves that? Let's talk about that today. So I wanted to read a couple of things I found interesting I was reading about. And the first one I'm going to read is from Plato. And what did he have to say about the gods and their names? It's something interesting, so let's read that. He says, "Men of sense must acknowledge that of the gods we know nothing, either their natures or of the names which they give themselves. But we are sure that the names by which they call themselves, whatever they may be, are true, and in this is the best of all principles, and that the next best is to say, as in prayers, that we will call them by any sort of, or kind of name which they like, because we do not know of any other. That also, I think, is a very good custom, and one which I should much wish to observe. Let us then, if you please, in the first place announce to them that we are not inquiring about them. We do not presume that we are able to do so, but we are inquiring about the meaning of men and giving them these names." And in there can be a small blame. Very interesting that the thought possibly that we call them, again, Zeus, Artemis, Apollo. But is that what they call each other when they speak and refer to each other? It's a thought. It's interesting. So on a separate thought, Plutarch says something that's also interesting, and that is about how we call the ruler of the sky in thunder Zeus, for example, and the Norse call it Thor, for example. So Plutarch had something interesting to say on these names. He said, "Not different gods for different peoples, not non-Greek and Greek, not southern and northern gods, but just as the sun and moon and earth or sea are all common to men, though they are called by different names by different peoples, so of the reason that the order of all things, and of one providence that also directs powers ordained to serve under her for all purposes, had different honors and titles have been made according to their laws by different nations." So that's a very interesting thought, that it's the same God, but different cultures and different countries worship them a different way and call them different things. So for example, how this we would call blue, but someone else would call azul. And then you have another one. This is red, and it is red. By the way, it looks kind of pink in the video, but someone else calls it rojo. But rojo and red are the same color, but they are called by different names. Very interesting thought. And it does go into synchronicity of how some people associate Zeus with Thor. That's always the easiest to think of, So there is some thought into that. And that's not everyone's practice or belief. Some people see it as a separate deity, but even Plutarch had the thought of it is the same deity, but with a different name. Anyway, guys, I thought that was interesting that I would share with you today, that deity has different names, even among themselves, that we call on Zeus and Athena. And those names are revered and holy, but they don't necessarily call themselves Zeus and Athena. They have their own names for each other. Again, interesting topic. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.